And topping our news, the fog once again, putting people to the test, from commuters to airplane passengers to those just wanting a break from the morning gray.
Yeah, let's go outside now. Let's take a look at some live pictures. All flights in and out of Sacramento were grounded for a bit this morning.
But she's been stuck in the fog all morning and she's still in it. I'm going to toss it out to Kate Larson.
Yes, Melissa, I gotta say though, the sun just popped up behind our thick blanket of fog and it feels great. Not only foggy this morning, but very chilly. We are at Sacramento International.
Well, do you remember that song, Too Legit to Quit?
Yes.
The artist, as you recall, is
MC Hammer.
MC Hammer. Well, Hammer time is here in town. The famous musician is wrapping up, not music, but some holiday cheer in the spirit of feeding the hungry. He paid a surprise visit to the Sacramento Food Bank and helped assemble 5 truckloads of food and toiletries, enough for 400 families. He said he chose Sacramento, Modesto, and Stockton to visit because he loves the people and the audiences that he's performed for in the past.
It's always better to give than receive, and just to be able to assist 400 families with food and supplies and toiletries during this time of the year. It's something that I love to do, and I'm glad to be able to do it.
MC Hammer is headed to Oakland and San Jose between now and Christmas Day with more of the same food and goodies. Time for a check of your money. New rules could be put in place to help prevent another financial meltdown like the one in 2008. The Fed's plan would require the largest American banks to hold on to more capital and keep it readily accessible in order to protect against another financial crisis. The Fed also called for limits on how credit exposure a bank could have to any major borrower. The goal, to prevent one bank from being vulnerable to failure because of a relationship with another large bank. Now, an update on the payroll tax. House Republicans rejected a plan to extend the 2% payroll tax cut for 2 months. It's a plan that passed overwhelmingly in the Senate and is backed by President Obama. Instead, the House passed a measure to begin immediate negotiations with the Senate to extend the payroll tax cuts for 1 year, as well as long-term jobless benefits. And now to developing news out of downtown. There is another push underway to give Sacramento Mayor Kevin Johnson more authority when it comes to decisions being made for the city. This latest move could ultimately be decided by voters. Nick Monticelli is live downtown where a press conference just got underway. And Nick, what is this all about, and could we eventually see this on the ballot?
Well, that's the idea, Jeff. You know, if you've been in Sacramento for any length of time, you know that the strong mayor discussion has been going on for a very long time.
Coming up next on News 10 Midday, we're talking birds.
We're talking birds. Thousands of chickens being slaughtered in Hong Kong, but it's not for dinner, but instead to prevent a deadly outbreak.
And thousands dead after a typhoon, thousands more homeless, and many children left to wonder, well, what about Christmas? You're watching News 10 Midday. We'll be right back. All right, coming up next after the break, we're talking about lack of sleep.
We know about this on the morning show.
Yes.
Yeah, but new information shows how dangerous not sleeping enough can be. Not only is it to blame for deadly plane crashes, but also police brutality.
And some believe diabetes is a disease only for people overweight. Well, think again. We're going to help you separate facts from fiction.
Well, you hear an awful lot about diabetes these days. That's because millions of Americans are being diagnosed with it every year. But how can you really tell fact from fiction when it comes to knowing about the disease? Here's Matt Cherry to set us straight in today's Health Minute.
Things Paul Tibbetts has learned from being a diabetic. For today's Health Minute, I'm Matt Cherry.
And if you want to see this health report and others, go to the top of news10.net. Click on the video, then scroll down to Health Minute. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 10 Midday.
Well, in case you didn't know, today is officially the first day of winter, technically starting at 9:30 tonight, and we are ringing it in with the bright and beautiful side of the season.
Yeah, as tricky and treacherous as fog can be, look at how gorgeous it can be too. This is early this morning before sunrise when our scouting photographer Mark Willis went in search of the art of winter. There it is, right
Wow.
there. You see it kind of fading
Kind of
away.
illuminated by the street light. Lovely
Yeah,
shade of red.
The fog can be beautiful, but really the fog today is kind of like an uninvited guest at your Christmas party who doesn't know when to take a hint.
And no one to
Sticking
leave.
around, just
Yeah,
hanging
I like
around
that.
all day.
That's perfectly put.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, exactly. And it's so stubborn that it's still here at this moment. But the good news is on our tower cam shot of downtown, we actually can see some buildings. You want to take a look?
Melissa, thank you very much. And it's going to be looking nice from this point out?
Well, we may see a little bit of fog as we head into
Yeah.
tonight, but those winds will likely keep it from being dense and widespread like we had this morning. So just patchy for Thursday, but a chance of fog and frost every morning throughout the weekend into your Christmas holiday.
Very
so be
good.
ready for that.
We'll be ready.
All right, make it a great day, everybody. You can always check with us on news10.net.
Have a good one. Thanks.